Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive into something really special, the rich, green world of traditional Jamaican herbal remedies. This isn't just about plants, it's about generations of wisdom passed down to handle all sorts of everyday ailments. So let's explore this amazing tradition together.
I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. For so many people in Jamaica and all across the Caribbean, this isn't some fantasy question, it's just life. We're going to get into some of these incredibly powerful plants and see exactly how they're used. Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll touch on the ancient wisdom behind these herbs. Then we'll get practical and group them by what they actually do, from skin problems to internal wellness and pain relief. And we'll wrap it all up with what is absolutely the most important part, how to use this knowledge safely.
For generations, these plants have been the go-to remedies in Caribbean households. But what's so cool is that modern science is finally catching up, studying and actually validating a lot of this ancient knowledge. It's a field called ethnobotany, where researchers are figuring out the active compounds that make these remedies work so well.
All right, first up, let's talk about our skin, our body's biggest organ and its first line of defense. From sunburns and cuts to more chronic stuff, it turns out nature has a whole pharmacy waiting for us. Okay, get ready for this number because it's huge. $13 billion. That's the global market for just one of these plants, aloe vera. This shows you we're not talking about some niche backyard remedy here. This is a massive global industry, all thanks to how incredibly useful aloe is.
And yeah, it's pretty easy to see why it's so huge. Aloe vera is like the Swiss Army knife of plants. Basically, the gel inside has these amazing properties. It's antibacterial, antiviral, and antiseptic. That's why it's the go-to for everything from calming down acne and soothing a bad sunburn to helping wounds heal. You can even scoop that gel right into your shampoo to help with a dry scalp.
But hey, aloe isn't the only hero in this story. You've also got neem, which is a powerful antibacterial and antifungal that's great for toning skin and even getting rid of head lice. Then there's peppermint, which is full of vitamins and perfect for soothing itchy rashes. And then there's a plant with a name you won't forget, dog blood. It's traditionally used for wounds and eczema. Stick with me, because we're going to find out where that name came from in just a bit.
And here's a perfect example of how straightforward some of these traditional methods are. Take the leaf of life plant. The method for small cuts is so simple. You just warm up a couple of leaves, crush them up, put that mash on the wound like a little poultice, and tie it on. It's believed to help you heal faster and maybe even avoid a scar.
Okay, so we've talked about what you can put on your body. Now let's switch gears and look at what you can put in your body to find that internal balance. We're talking about herbs you take, usually as a tea, to help with everything from digestion to just feeling good overall.
I love this old Jamaican saying, too much of one thing is good for nothing. It's the perfect way to introduce our next herb, cerasee. And frankly, it's a golden rule for herbal medicine in general. Moderation is everything. So, cerasee, it's super bitter, but it's an absolute powerhouse of nutrients. People traditionally use it as a detoxifier, a blood purifier, kind of like a traditional juice cleanse, but way more intense. But look, that quote wasn't just for fun. You have to respect this plant. The recommendation is to drink it as a tea no more than 2 or 3 times a month. Seriously, it's that powerful. All right, next up is one you probably already know and love. Ginger. And when you look at the breakdown here, you see it's so much more than just a spice. It's packed with stuff like potassium and fiber and vitamin C, all the good things that make it so beneficial for our health.
So yeah, ginger is a total champ for things like fighting off infections, settling an upset stomach, easing menstrual pain. It even helps with brain function. And then we have rosemary. It's not just for cooking, folks. Traditionally, it's used to boost memory and focus, lift your mood, and just plain chill you out by increasing circulation.
Okay, let's move on to a big one. Pain. It's one of the main reasons people turn to remedies, right? So let's look at a few plants known for their anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving magic.
Okay, remember I promised to tell you about the name dog blood? Well, here it is. The plant is actually called dog blood bush, and it gets that wild name from its berries. When they get ripe, they turn this really bright red and look like tiny little droplets of blood. Pretty cool, right?
But it's more than just a cool name. This plant is a really respected pain reliever. It's known especially for helping with menstrual issues, and it's thought to have anti-inflammatory properties that are so strong, one traditional use is to help cleanse the fallopian tubes to improve fertility. And of course, you can't have a conversation about natural pain relief without talking about marijuana. And this right here shows why the whole conversation around medical cannabis has changed so much. It's not just one thing. You've got pills for precise doses, patches that deliver it through your skin, topical creams for sore muscles, even tea. It's all about finding the right application for the right kind of relief. Last but not least in our pain section is guinea hen weed, or anamu. And trust me, you'll know it when you smell it. It has this super strong garlicky odor. It's a classic remedy for stuff like headaches, fevers, and colds. People will even crush the root and just inhale the scent to help clear up their sinuses. Okay, we've talked about all the amazing benefits, all the good stuff, but now we have to get to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole discussion: using these herbs safely. This is not something to gloss over. So let's be crystal clear here. Some of these plants come with very, very serious warnings. Take guinea hen weed. It can cause uterine contractions, which means it can lead to a miscarriage. This is non-negotiable and something everyone needs to know.
And that's not the only one. Both dog blood and guinea hen weed are a no-go for anyone pregnant or breastfeeding. And with guinea hen weed, it actually has a compound that acts like a blood thinner, so if you're on a medication like Coumadin, you have to stay away. Look, the bottom line is simple. If you're pregnant, if you have any kind of health condition, or if you're taking any other medication, you absolutely must talk to your doctor or a healthcare provider before you even think about trying these.
So let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. First, these are not just gentle supplements. They are powerful, powerful tools. Second, dosage and how you prepare them matter a lot. Third, you have to listen to the warnings, especially about pregnancy. And finally, the golden rule. Always, and I mean always, talk to your doctor before starting any new herbal remedy, period.
So, what we've done here is just opened a small window into this incredible world of traditional wisdom. It's a world filled with amazing potential, but it's one that demands respect and caution. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you know a little bit more about both the power and the risks, how might you approach this ancient wisdom in your own life, thoughtfully and safely? It's definitely something to chew on.